Welcome, everybody, to Who's Your Band? I am Jeffrey Paul. I am joined by my happy-go-lucky co-host, Sean Morton. How are you, Sean?
New and improved, baby. I'm back.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not back. I never was happy. I was always a miserable prick. So this is just new for me. So you got to deal with this new version of me, I guess.
Yeah, I said before, I don't like it. I need you ornery. I need you jaded. I need you upset.
Jeff, let go and let God.
Well, you know what? I want to get this podcast started because this is a guy, we had him on the podcast 5 years ago when the world was a different place during COVID and we were on lockdowns.
Yes.
Okay.
And now, 5 years later, the world is a different place because me and him are very good friends now. So life is very different than 5 years ago.
See, we make love connections on this show all the time, and this was one that worked out. So this guy is a musician. He is a multi-talented musician. He's part of Morris Day and the Time, and we welcome back to the show Andre Holmes. How are you, Andre? How you been?
Hey! I'm very good. Thank you. Good to be here, and everything is great.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's been 5 years since we had you back on the show. I know you and Sean have kept in touch. I haven't seen you since, but we've followed each other on social media, so I know what you've been up to. You and the little birds and everything. So
baby birds.
I want to get right into this, man. You are still part of the Time, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, people who may not be familiar with the Time will be familiar with these names. This is a band that didn't just produce Morris Day, but this has had Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, Alexander O'Neal. Okay, let me ask him, what is it like to play in that
Jesse
band?
Johnson.
Jelly Bean Johnson. That's right.
Jelly Bean Johnson, Jesse Johnson, guitarist. Yeah. Go ahead.
Jerome. Okay. Yeah. What's it like to play in that band? I love that guy. Isn't that Terry Lewis's brother?
Yes.
Yeah. So what's it like to play in that band every night? This iconic band.
Pretty friggin' incredible. Sometimes I have to, you know how you have to take yourself out of your present mind. You have to go into the space, the zone or whatever. Because I can easily geek out. Usually that happens when I'm at soundcheck. I kind of allow myself sometimes at soundcheck just to have a moment. And I really do allow myself those moments because it's pretty legendary. The music that we're playing, the people that I'm playing with, I grew up listening to. I learned how to play music with them, and then I'm meandering through some complex trying to find the stage, and I get there and there's Jelly Bean Johnson, and Morris Day walks up on stage and he's like saying hello, and you're just like, ah. So there's that, and I allow myself during sound check to kind of geek out, because then when we're just hitting, and that's the cool thing about it too, is because they're all just musicians. We all just love music. And to get to, we smash pretty hard. So to get to do that, it's, how do I feel? Brother, blessed is one word that a lot of people like to use. Fuck, I don't know. It's amazing.
How did you get in the band?
I was that guy. I was a teenager, and the Time had rejoined. They came back together in about 1990, in the mid-90s, to not even try to quote the exact year. I think it was 96, 95, maybe 94, whatever it was. We heard that the Time were back together. And so they were doing a tour, and they came to Louisiana, and they were about 6 hours away. And the band that I was in at the time jumped into a car and drove to New Orleans and snuck in, because I wasn't old enough to get into the club. So I snuck into the sound check and stayed there until the showtime. I just never left. I got in before security was really set up. And then you just kind of,
Where did you hide?
Out. everywhere, just floating around. You know what? It was a thing. It was just like, looked like it kind of belonged. And I was a teenager, so nobody even really questioned, like, I guess they assumed that I was with somebody, but you just kind of looked like you kind of belong. So kind of halfway between backstage and front of house and kind of outside on the side in the loading dock.
So you go to this.
So cut from that. So,
yeah.
Okay. So sorry. Okay. Yeah. So that would be the initial times, and then eventually Jesse, the manager, Morris's brother, kind of, they started to know me. I mean, I was just this little kid who was just hanging around.
You're always going to the shows, right?
Coming to the shows, sneaking into the shows, and then Jesse would allow me to sneak into the shows. And the security would be like, "No, you can't get in, kid." I'm like, "I know the band." And then they would get the manager, and the manager would say, "All right, he can come in." We still laugh about that to this day. He's still my manager. And so one evening, he was just in the summertime. He said, "You look like you." I went to tune the guitar. I play all the instruments, right? So I went to tune the guitar player's guitar, Tori.
You were still in bands at this time, right?
Say again?
You were still in bands at this time, right?
I was still in bands. As a matter of fact, yeah. I was still playing during the early years. I was like, I was in high school, and then I went through, and then, I mean, I became a professional musician. I was touring with Fishbone.
That's right.
When I actually got the opportunity to do the tech gig with the Time, and so I came in as a tech, bro, because I played all the instruments.
Because you joined the Time, you become an official member of the Time in 2018. So how long were you a tech for?
Yeah. So that's not accurate, but I was a tech for about, when was and I can give you this. When was the Musicology tour? Princess Musicology tour.
Oh,
2006?
Yeah, around there, 6 or 7.
Okay, so that would have been like 2005 would have been the year that I actually joined the band as a band member. And then, so my initial official joining of the band. So I was a tech probably from 2000 to, or 2002 maybe, to 2005. So about 3 years I toured with them as a tech, and then I joined the band as the keyboard player. For a couple of years, I got fired. I went off and toured with Mariah Carey and back with Fishbone and a bunch of other people.
Why'd you get fired?
I got fired because I got food poisoning. I got food poisoning and I couldn't play the show.
So you got replaced. You didn't get fired. You didn't fuck up or anything.
Not musically, but I fucked up professionally because I should have.
It's not your fault.
They don't give, and guess what? There's no HR in rock and roll, baby.
Yeah,
I should have been there. I should have been on the stage. Today, let me just say, if I had the same food poisoning right now where I was projectile vomiting and fever, shivers, shakes, everything. Had I known the 20-something-year-old Padre been like where I am now, like I would have been up there. I got on stage, but I couldn't stay on stage, but I would have stayed on stage. I would have fucking just passed out on the keyboard.
If you're vomiting and going to the bathroom, how are you staying on stage? What would you do?
They put a trash can next to me. I didn't last the show, but I would have. I'm just telling you. I don't know how, but I'm telling you now, honestly, Jeff, like if I could do it today over, I would not have left the stage. Well, because I left the stage, and I left the stage for a bunch of time.
That is crazy. So you go out with Mariah Carey, that's Sean's crush, and how do you get back into the band?
Okay, so this is a great lesson for anyone who would possibly even listen to any snippet of this. I never burned bridges, my brother. And so It was devastating. I mean, we're talking tears. It was heartbreaking. But I stayed in good standing with Jesse and with Morris. I didn't blow up the scene when I left or when I got fired. Now, there have been people, let me say, who have gotten fired from this band or from other bands who go on like a social media tirade and they want to out people and they want to like cancel people and like, you won't believe this happened to me. I didn't say anything to anybody. Nobody knew, because I knew in the back of my head that one day they're going to need me. I mean, I know this band. I've toured with them. We've traveled the world. I knew the operation, and I was like, they're going to need me at some point in time. And sure enough, I said that to Tori, the guitar player. I said it to him. And he was kind of like, yeah, whatever, kid. And sure enough, that day came, and my phone rang, and I was able to answer it, and there was no bad blood. Yeah, I got sick on a gig. Yeah, I got fired. But can you come and play these shows in Jamaica and blah, 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 and in Mexico and in Canada? And I'm like, I sure the fuck can. And then once I was back there, you know, Morris gets to be around me. I get to be around the fellas again. And, you know, that energy. And so it's not really about your performance. It's about your performance off the stage as much as it is on the stage, right?
That's a great thing to hear, you know, for people to listen. You're right. Because with comedy, it's not, you know, you can get a million guys to do the job, but it's about the people you're traveling with and the hang.
Big time.
Yeah,
I will work with comics who are inferior to me, like Jeff, just because, you know, they're just my friends. You know what I mean? So I get that totally.
Yeah.
And I feel like you see what he does,
Andre. You see what he does? You see how he has to throw a little pepper in there every fucking now and then. He has to throw a little pepper. This guy. Do you like touring?
I love touring. Here's the thing. Be careful what you ever wish for or ask for. All I ever said, if you met the 16-year-old Andre and you said, what do you want to do? I would have said, I want to be a touring musician. I didn't fucking know what that meant. I didn't know what that really entailed, but that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I went for. And then I got it. And I was like, shit.
So that brings me to my next question. That brings me to my next question to you then. What don't people realize about life on the road, life touring?
What they don't realize is that you're living out of a suitcase, a bunk, or a hotel room with sprinkled in with airport lobbies and TSA. And there's just a lot of stuff that you're so not in control of so much of your life. It's mind numbing. And then you wonder why people who, you know, that leads to the ease of habitual behavior. So you can get into habits and it's kind of like not a lot to do a lot of times on the road, man. We travel all day, red eyes, things, and then you're in the middle of nowhere. You got to eat, and then you're just kind of like restless and twiddling your thumbs, and a restless mind is the playground for the devil or something like that.
Yeah.
So those are the hard parts of. Yeah. It's not going to a city, showing up in a city and playing the show. Oh, that's fucking great. Yeah, your posts look great. Your social media looks fantastic because it's just like, oh my God, you're there. I don't even post anymore because I'm so exhausted.
Yeah, but the other 24 hours of the day.
Right. People don't understand. Like, they can go to a concert, like you guys see an hour and a half show, and they think that you guys just roll off of a tour bus and you just go on stage and then you're just jumping on and playing, and that's your whole job. They don't see that. You know, look at, all right. So here's an example, right? I went to go see Andre 2 weeks ago, right? At a concert in Inglewood, and they canceled his flight. So instead of having to do the show and go back to the hotel, get a good night's sleep, wake up at 6 and fly out, they got off stage. We hung out until 1:30 in the morning. And then at 1:45, he had to be on to take a bus all the way down to Norfolk, Virginia. So people don't understand
7.5
that.
hours.
Yeah, a 7.5 hour bus ride. So they think that, oh, okay, this is a band that we've seen in Purple Rain. We've heard the music for 40 years. These guys are, they're flying private all over the place. No, guess what? Their fucking Spirit Airlines flight got canceled and they had to take a fucking bus all the way down for 7.5 hours.
Please tell me you're not flying Spirit Airlines.
You had to throw Spirit in there. It was a Delta flight.
Yeah.
It was a Delta flight.
He had
Put
to
some
throw
respect on our name.
Dude, you're in the time. You can do better. I do better than Spirit Airline. You can do better than Spirit Airline. So are there any pre-show rituals or routines that you go through before a show?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. They're kind of mundane. They're not exciting, but I mean, it's really simple stuff. Obviously, we wear suits every night when we're on stage. So part of my pre-show ritual is prepping my suit, getting my hat with the lint brush, and just kind of doing this really kind of old school. It kind of takes you back. It's like old school. Like guys used to just dress up like that to go out.
Right.
Yeah,
and so that's kind of got that throwback vibe to it. And then other than that, no, I mean, I take a shower directly 30 minutes before I have to hit the lobby because it's 15 minutes in my shower and 15 minutes for me to put my suit on, and it's pretty much time to the minute. And then I hit the elevator button and I'm down in the lobby. And that kind of gets me, that means that's when I'm in show mode. It's like that 30-minute, that last hour, and then that 30 minutes where it's just like, don't stand in my way. Like it's shower, suit, lobby, show.
Mine and Sean's pre-show ritual is we wipe the Snickers crumbs out of our face and then we put on our t-shirts and that's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we're not as intricate as you.
I do a warm up in the shower as well. I'm warming up in the shower, vocal warm ups. So,
we're trying not to touch ourselves. How do you stay grounded? Like, how do you stay sane on tour? When you just described everything you go through, how do you keep it together? Like you're a pretty laid back, chill type of guy. How do you just not go off?
Just come back home.
Coming back home. You're sitting in an airport. You get a delay. All the stuff that happens.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll tell you. That's my other ritual. That's my airport ritual, what you're asking about now. I can't sit at the gate. I don't sit at the gate. I can't. So I will time I have pre-check and clear and all of that stuff. So I time my entry into the airport. I'll just hang outside. Whether I'm having a cigarette or I'm just sitting outside talking to my wife on the phone, I will not go inside that airport until it is about time for me to board.
Why won't you do that?
And then I go in, I go through the boarding process, and I go straight to the gate, and I pre-board. So that's my, now, and I'm strict on that. I have taught other motherfuckers how to fly.
I'm doing that next time. I understand.
The process.
I hate going to the airport because I will get there 3 hours early and just sit around and get fucking $94 in snacks from Hudson News.
But
that's the thing. I can't go in there because it's a money trap, and you get sucked in, and then you'll sit down and you'll order a $30 breakfast at the little restaurant next to your gate. It's just horrible. I just avoid it.
It's exactly what I do.
I walk to my gate, and if everyone is standing, if they're all about to get up, that's fine because I walk right past all of them. You get in your first class line, you get over there, and I pre-board the flight, and I'm on, and then I go take a poop on the plane because I'm the first one in there. So that's how I travel, baby. That's how I keep my sanity.
You shit on the plane?
Because if you're the first, listen. A lot of the restrooms are good. If you get dropped off at the arrivals, sometimes you can find a clean one there. If they have the gender neutral or the family bathrooms, I'll do that. But if
you mean in the airport, not on the plane itself, not in the little plane?
You're not listening to me. Yeah, I'm leading you up to it. All of that in the airport. If there is a private bathroom I can use in the airport, but there isn't always. But I pre-board. Remember, when you get off of a flight, Who's on the flight as you're leaving? The cleaning crew. So that restroom has been cleaned after the last people get on, and I'm the first person on the flight. I pre-board. So I go to the restroom, and it has just been cleaned, and that's how I roll.
I don't have a problem with that. I have no problem with that.
I have a problem with it.
Why?
I could, because first of all, guys like you can't fit in there, Sean. You're going to sit there, pull down your pants, and take a dump in the.
I've taken a shit on a plane before, dude.
Never in my life. Never in my life. It's too confining. I need space.
So would you rather
I probably sang that song for about maybe 15 years. I prided myself on like never using public restrooms or anything. And after a while, my brother, and one of those weak stomach mornings, I said, you know what, fuck it. And I pre-boarded, and I realized that's what I was like, wait a minute. I'm the first person to be in here after it's been cleaned. Yeah, no, I hate it, of course. But I also look at women who have to go in there. Like you and me complain because, yeah, if we just got to take a piss, sure, it's easy. Zip and pee. But the girls have to go in there, and they actually have to sit down. They have to clean the seat. So I'm like, yeah, when or hover, like my wife, she hovers. She's a hoverer. She doesn't actually.
But Andre, you don't have a problem with the after effects? You neither, Sean?
No.
You leave the door open, it opens up, the smell comes into the cabin? No, man, you can't do that.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't sit on my poop. I poop and flush.
Right away.
I poop and flush.
Right. There's not a lingering effect.
Look, it's one smooth action. It's one smooth action. As it exits, as it leaves, it hits the air and then down and it's out, baby. It's 2.5 seconds of it lingering. I don't let anything linger.
I have walked into bathrooms with that where I've almost vomited. It has been so atrocious. Oh, I can't do it.
That's why you got to be first. You're not hearing me. That's why if I can't be first.
I'm never first. I'm usually group 6. Okay. I'm not in Morris Day in the time. I'm a lonely middle on the road sometimes. Okay.
You're giving yourself a lot of credit with the middle part too.
Well, I'll headline every now and then. Come on, I'm a legit middle. Stop it.
I'm telling you, that's how I keep my sanity, though. I promise you. You ask the question, that's how it goes.
All right. So, what's your favorite song to play when you're on stage?
Wow, that's a good one. It changes. It changes from time to time.
Yeah.
I love the intro because I get to do the intro, although it can be nerve-wracking because, I'm the first voice you hear. So if my voice cracks or if I'm like, or something like that, it's kind of, but I love to play the intro. But Wild and Loose is one of my favorite songs to play because it just hits so hard because Morris sets it up. That's where he asks the crowd if there's a question. Do they know what that question is? And of course, everybody says,
"What time?
You know what time it is?
What time is it? What time it is? Look how ghetto you are. What time is it?"
I do live in Staten Island, so you have to be.
What time it is? The fuck?
No. Give me a little something. I'm wearing an Evanescence t-shirt. Okay, I don't have your.
Okay, all right. Okay,
right.
You got one pass. But that one hit so hard, and that one's pretty incredible. And we have a couple of little fun things where we bring some audience members up on stage, and they do.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let me tell you, there was a white woman on the stage in Inglewood. Let me just tell you, all I'm gonna say is she was shaking that thing because she wanted some fucking chocolate that night. Holy Christ! Good Lord. And she was sitting I think right in front of me. And she was dancing the whole friggin' night. And I'm like, I see like this cattle of fucking 72-year-old women just going on stage. And this one is fucking dropping and popping, locking and shaking her ass. And I'm like, oh my God, this woman is fucking obsessed. She was possessed that night.
Did you say popping, locking?
You wanted some
popping,
chocolate?
locking, yeah.
What's poppin' locking? When you say she's poppin' locking, what does that mean? What is she doing?
Popping and locking. She's
right.
popping it.
She was doing like breakdance moves while she was dancing.
The dance move or pop lock?
It's breakdance. It's a breakdancing move.
Okay, then why did you say breakdance? She was breakdancing. She have Adidas on and a piece of cardboard with her.
No piece of cardboard, but she was down to the fucking knees.
That was during my Crush Groove days.
Oh God!
I used to like, what was it, Beach Street and Crush Groove. Those were the two movies I used to go see.
Have you been to a show? Have you been to a show? Have you seen this section of the show? You haven't been.
No, I've not. I know it because Andre, I never get invited to a show. Stupid Sean gets invited to the show. Knew who gets left out? Old Jeff Paul. Old Jeff Paul gets left out all the time.
All right. Where do you live?
I live in Staten Island.
All right, come on down to Atlantic City, baby.
Listen, if you invite me, I will come down to Atlantic City. I told Sean Morton that I would love to come see a show. Okay? I've never seen the time. I'm a big fan of the time. I'm a follower of yours. I would love to go see a show.
And here's the best part about the best part about seeing them for me is the fact that he's my least favorite person on the stage. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Because now he's not just a dude that's in the band. He's like truly like a good friend to me. So like I don't give a fuck about him. I can just enjoy watching Tori just destroy the fucking guitar. You know, like I could focus on that and just be in the zone and watch it. And then fucking dumbass is standing behind him, and that's all.
You see, this is what happens when you become friends with this stupid guy. Okay, he has to belittle you, besmirch, throw his little daggers in.
Let me explain something to you. I may do that to you, but me and Andre had like a.
You just did it to poor Andre. He's the least favorite member of the band.
But did you hear why I said
member of the band?
Did you hear why I said why? Because he's my least favorite member of the band. Because he's my friend now. He's not a member of the band.
He's your favorite member.
No, it's Morris. He's his fucking band.
He said the least favorite person on stage, which I'll take that one.
Yes.
That's what least favorite, which is great. Because we like the good thing about our show is when you see it, like everywhere you look, you can have a performance
going on.
Yes, we have there's something going on.
I love the fact that I took my friends who are hard rock and metal people. Right. And when I suggested that they come, of course, his wife, I knew she would enjoy it. But you know my friend Scott, Jeff. He was on the show with us.
Yes, I remember the DJ from the rock station.
And great people. They had the greatest fucking time because this is a band when you see them live, no matter what kind of music you like, if you like rock, country, pop, rap, soul, funk, whatever, everybody likes this band. They're just so fucking tight on stage too, musically, which pisses me off.
Well, Sean, that's the question I want to ask Andre, and I hope he doesn't get mad when I ask him this question. Andre, is it all live or are there tracks?
Absolutely. I'm glad you asked that question and make this one of your little snippets. No, brother, we don't have any tracks playing. Everything that you hear, we are playing live. We're singing all the vocals. We play and we hit hard, baby. We hit hard. People ask that even after they see us. Other bands even think that maybe we have tracks. All kind of artists play. Let me just say, I'll share this with you. One of our techs, he just came in to do a couple of shows. We needed a filler for a monitor guy. And he tours with a pretty popular band. I shouldn't say the name of the band. Old school band. Maybe I will. But no, they were really cool. And it's a group of them. You could almost call them a gang. But anyways, they're really cool people, and it's almost like a gang.
We got it. Anyways,
he worked for those guys, and then he came out and did some shows with us with the Time, and he pulled me to the side, and he said it was so good to play with a band that everyone is playing everything and that there aren't tracks. And I kind of hesitated because I was like, why are you talking shit? He was paying a compliment, obviously, but it was one of those kind of insider industry compliments. that was it was interesting coming from him, and I was like, well, that was cool. So yeah,
I get that. I mean, like I put on the music nerd hat when I start watching this band play, because I'm watching.
You're a musician, so you kind of get it. But it's a big thing in the industry now. How many bands are not playing completely live? Like we were talking off stage air about Motley Crue, and Motley Crue is notoriously known for adding bass tracks. Dua Lipa had the freaking microphone upside down. She drops it, and the vocals are still going. I mean, there are so many. You can watch it. I'm not making this stuff up. You can watch it.
You're kidding.
No, you can pull these clips up on YouTube. Okay, you can find this stuff. So when you do have these bands like Tesla, bands like yourself, that play absolutely live with, what the thing is, when you see a live act, sometimes you want to see the flaws in the band because it's live, it's real, it's in the moment.
I agree.
Well, 100%. And like one thing is we don't really. Okay, everyone makes mistakes. Okay, like I will never say we don't make mistakes. What we don't do are train wrecks. We never have a train wreck. Okay, we are way. That's below our pay grade. Okay, you can't fucking crash. But what happens is every now and then there are technical things that happen. There are snafus. Sometimes like shit just fucking falls over, and it's kind of cool because the one thing after the show, if something happens. And I'm hanging out with Morris in the backstage afterwards. And I'm like, oh, man, that was crazy. And he's like, yeah, it's rock and roll. That's what makes it live music. And he just has that. Right. He's just like, this is live music. We were doing a show, baby. We're not pretending. We're performing. And if shit happens, hey, shit happened. Okay, keep going.
And you're professionals and you roll with it.
It happens to us too. Look, how many times can you get derailed, Jeff? How many times I get fucking thrown off by a heckler or, a joke doesn't go the right way.
That doesn't happen to me. I'm just saying that's one of the major differences between you and I, Sean. So, Andre, how do different crowds or cities change your performance? How do different crowds or cities change your performance?
Well, I mean, just like it changes yours. I mean, if I'm doing a corporate show, it's just like if you're doing a fucking corporate show. And this big corporation is having their big gala, and the VP of the company loves Morris Day and the Time, right? And so he's like, we're going to have the time at our party. Now, the other 2,000 people, 1,500 people, 800 people in the room, they don't give a fuck. They're there because they're there for their corporate event. Those are the worst things to play ever. And we all know that. It's just like, talk about working a fucking room. Now, will you get them partying? Absolutely. Will we get them up? I mean, the music is impeccable, but it's that first 15 minutes that you have to really work. And it's just like, it's torture because you got to really now, okay, versus the opposite of that is when you're playing in Minneapolis, or I'll tell you, one of our biggest cities is Detroit, because Detroit is mentioned on one of the records, on the first album, if you call out a city name, right? Mm-hmm. So the Detroit is in the record. And so when we play that song, whenever we play Detroit, it's just on and popping. The crowd comes dressed like us. When you see the audience standing there dressed in full suits and ties and hats, then you know you're going to have a good show, baby birds. And that's the opposite of the corporate event. And they're like, who? Oh, yeah, I remember, oh, the Bird, oh, Jungle Love. And you're just like, you're not a fan. Like, oh, shit. So that's when we work for it. And the other ones, we're just having a party. Sometimes, I mean, there are certain cities, of course, Detroit, but sometimes it'll be Little Rock, Arkansas. Something that's just totally not even expected. We did one show just recently. Hell, I think it may have been the Trenton, the Inglewood show, Sean, where we were, because the crowd, it was, because it was a small crowd starting off. But that crowd partied all night long. Y'all partied hard. It was just like, so that made it easy. That's an easy show.
Yeah. I said too, this is the third or fourth time I've seen you. That was probably the tightest that I had seen the band, because the energy in the room was very different than the other shows too.
It was palpable. So when the crowd is giving it to us, it's so much easier for us to give it back. Then Morris is on, and when Morris starts really digging in, you look out there and you see your boss digging, and you're just like, oh shit. Then everybody steps it up. It's like, okay, fellas, we're doing it tonight, and that's when it really becomes like and it's just as much fun for us to do it. You would think playing the same set or telling the same jokes is like, no, man, that shit it's energetic. It's amazing, especially when the material is good. If you got good material, right?
That is true too.
Right.
You can even work past. That's how we get past the hard crowds. Because it'd be different if we were in a cover band. I've played in some sucky bands before. Now that shit that's for the birds. But when you're in a good band and your material is good, even if a crowd is against you, you can turn them around. And by halfway through the show, even if they didn't want to like you, they're just like, fuck, this shit is groovy. And that was funny. And that's when you got them.
Yep.
It's a very entertaining band, it's an entertaining show. Before I get into a little bit of talking about Morris Day, what's your day off like? What does that look like for you?
Usually driving my daughter to school, and then
like when you're not on the road, you have a couple of days off. You're able to go home, or do you stay on the road?
No. I'm a homebody. I sleep in.
Where's
my wife
home
is
for you?
Los Angeles. So I live in North Glendale, and it's a nice, quiet community. And I like to just I chill. I'm super homebody. I lock the door. I'll take my daughter to school, and then I'll come home. I'll do some production work, but that's just sitting in my living room, basically, in my studio. And I don't do a whole lot. I watch a lot of news that Sean loves. He loves that fact that I watch a lot of news. So.
Yes. You know why I love that fact? Because me and him are on polar opposites of the spectrum.
Politically.
And we can have a rational, human, loving, respectful conversation for 2 hours and not yell and not curse and not scream at each other and not belittle each other, which is the way it's supposed to be. And guess what? Life still went on after that conversation. We still had the same feelings and beliefs, and we kissed and hugged each other goodbye. And it was all done the way it should be.
Sure,
because
that was
none
the
of it
greatest
matters.
thing I've ever heard.
Why?
That little soliloquy. Because we hugged and we disagreed respectively.
We did.
And we did this. And, stop it. Stop. This new Sean is not working for me. It is not. Because old Sean would have been, and you would have turned into Eddie Murphy in Coming to America. Fuck you, and fuck you. Who's next?
Who's next?
I love that movie, man. That's one of my favorites.
That is one of the best ever.
Yeah, it is. So what makes
Tori's in that movie, Sean. Tori's in that movie.
Where?
He's in Sexual Chocolate.
Shut the fuck up.
Tori is the guitar player. It's Sexual Chocolate.
Band ever. Sexual Chocolate is the greatest fake band ever. Oh my God! Tell me that isn't a scene you love. You can.
Yes.
It's never boring.
Are you kidding me?
I did not know that until
he's in both. He's in the original. He's in the original, and they brought him back for the remake when they did the second one.
Oh, I gotta watch it again now. I gotta watch them both.
Fucking band.
The original is great. The other one is.
It is what it is. Of course, it's a sequel. But the point is, Sexual Chocolate, same band, and that's Tori on guitar.
Sexual Chocolate is amazing. Hey, what makes Morris Day's stage presence so iconic?
Well, I mean, I guess it's the man. It starts with him. Morris is he's kind of understated in person, but he's a great showman, and I guess that is a testament to the machine that Prince put him through. Prince put those guys through a machine, man. I mean, I'm still making money off of that machine that he created. Prince was the mastermind and the orchestrator behind this shit. He pulled Morris from behind the drums. Morris only wanted to play drums. He was like, I'm a drummer. I'm not a singer. I don't want to sing. And Prince was like, you are the lead singer. And then Jelly Bean is a guitar player. Jelly Bean was playing guitar in another band. And he was like, Jelly Bean, you're playing drums. Morris, you could have fun. And Morris was like, I don't know what to do. And he told him what to do, and the rest is history.
Are you kidding? I never knew that, because this guy just seems so unbelievably natural to be a frontman. I figured he had done that his whole life.
No. He was a drummer. He wanted to be behind the scenes. But the thing is, and what Prince saw in him, and the thing that everyone sees in him, what you see in him, what the world got to see once the camera was on him, is his charisma, his personality. Now, I will tell you, sitting down next to that dude, I mean, I was thinking about it the other day. He's so fucking sharp. He's so witty and funny. Like, we'll be joking and we'll be laughing and making jokes, and then he always has the perfect sideline, like addendum or comeback or cover up. I don't know how the fuck he does it. And I watch him. For all of these years now, I watch him and I see shit happening. I'm like, well, there's nothing he can say on this. And Morris will fucking and he just opens his mouth, and whatever he says, it's just like, holy shit, that dude has, if there is an it, whatever the it is, Morris has it. And I don't know what that is, but it still to this day befuddles me. Like, that motherfucker is fucking hilarious. And he's got this timing and he's got a charisma about him that is, you can't teach it. Now, that didn't come from the machine. That came from his mama and his daddy.
100%. I couldn't agree with you more. I thought he stole his scenes in Purple Rain. Everyone absolutely killed it.
He stole every scene he was in. And that was the 100%. Thing. Yeah, and Prince knew that too, and that really got under Prince's nerves. It got under his skin, got on his nerves and under his skin. You know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. What makes the dynamic between Morris Day and the band so special?
Morris is a musician. Morris is a musician. He's not just a singer dictating. He's not just a singer dictating things, or we're not a band putting music together and he doesn't have any concept of what's going on. No, Morris is in tune as if he were the drummer. He is a musician. So, when Morris gives you notes, you're like, how the hell did you hear that? How did you even notice that? But he's really tied in and locked in, and he holds us up to the standard. I mean, he does. He literally will crack the whip. And I mean, if he'll ask somebody like, what happened with that last night? And it's like, oh, it was a slip. It's like, okay, you don't have any slips in your paycheck when it comes. There's no slips in your envelope. Okay, so if I don't slip up on your envelope, don't slip up on my parts. And when he says that to you in front of everybody at soundcheck, you're just like, got it, copy that. That won't happen again. Yes. Okay, so he's like, he runs a fucking tight ship.
Does that put like a lot of pressure on you? Like, how do you cope with that, man?
I mean, no. This is a blessing. What we get to do is a fucking blessing. And Morris is blessed, and he appreciates the blessing. He reciprocates that to us. He treats us very well. He's very generous. But at the same time, it's like it's our job. And honestly, it's mutual. It's across the board. So it's not really pressure like that. We all have the same. Again, that 30 minutes when I'm taking that shower, I'm warming up, I'm putting on the suit, like it is time to go to work. All of the party, all of the travel, fuck all of that shit and your personal lives and the problems and the cat and the dog we're fighting. It doesn't matter. It's time to work, and we go with a work ethic. So it's like Cirque du Soleil. You know what I'm saying? It's like everyone is trusting everyone else with their lives. So we take it with that. So it's not even a pressure of like, oh, don't mess up. It's like you can't mess up because this is what we do. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
makes perfect sense, and it's tremendous insight that you just gave us. Sean, you know what I was just thinking about when we had the heavy metal dude on the singer. He gave us similar observation that Andre. I only heard it from these two guests. I mean, I thought that was as raw and honest as we heard of an answer. So thank you for that, man. That is
Cheers.
absolutely awesome. How has Morris Day and the Time, how has that musical influenced artists that came after him? And who do you think kind of like picked up on Morris Day and the Time? Or are they just an original?
No, bro. Okay. Well, you asked two questions. Now, artists that were influenced by Morris Day and the Time, it's amazing. The cool thing about playing in this band is even if like lay people, when I say lay people, like just people who just listen to music, they may not know who the Time is. But musicians and audiophiles, music fans, people who are, but especially musicians, it's a funny thing. In the musician world, which is a very fickle world, I would imagine much like the comic world, like any of our like writers, like
No, we're all cohesive and we all have each other's backs.
Right, but it's kind of like being a writer and they're like, oh, he wrote on Seinfeld. Then everyone is just like, it doesn't matter if you were good. They don't care what episode you were on. It's just like you worked with Larry David and Jerry. Like that's it. They're boom, gold mark, right? In that realm. And so being in the Time is kind of like that. It's kind of like you playing Morris Day and the Times, like yeah. And it's funny because it's that time where I can like totally be like kind of like yeah, you know, you can look off, you don't have to look one in the eye, just like yeah, playing the Time. And you know, because people they gush over it. And then Fishbone is much similar to that. So you have the combination of Fishbone and the Time, as far as black rock and black funk music goes, through several generations and decades, they're kind of high there. And so that is a very that's the dynamic that I experience. And then your second question was you were saying, how does it what was the last little part you said? I hope I answered your question.
No, you did. But who was some of the bands that you think?
Right.
Morris Day?
Okay, so now, I mean, definitely. Okay, I mean, you know, the easy one to point out is Bruno Mars, right? Bruno Mars even came out and said, it's like, you know, I mean, he kind of like, if you could have cookie cuttered that whole like, you know, put your pinky ring up to the moon. Like that's all like that's the Time sound. That is Minneapolis sound, and he was very unabashedly, you know, he was not afraid to say that. But you'd be surprised, people like Dave Grohl.
I know he copied the Gap band that beginning.
Well, so think about it. Absolutely.
Dropped the bomb on me. That brum is the Gap band.
So that's his whole. That's where he comes from musically. But even bands like the Deftones, like you'd be really surprised, man. It's just it's too many to even kind of name because Rihanna. I mean, obviously Rihanna and the Time have done and Morris did like a smash up. She's come out and done shows. Lots of mainstream. I mean, we just did a residency with Billy Gibbons, ZZ Top.
Oh wow!
And it was amazing. He was there in rehearsals with us. And his first day of rehearsals, he came in and we're playing and we kind of came up with a nice intro for him to play. And we did it and he played along and he's amazing, by the way. Yeah. And then after we took a break, it was like, you got any notes? He was like, okay, I see. You guys are just a rock band masquerading as a funk band.
Well,
so it was.
Yeah, I mean, listen, at that last show, there was one point when Morris wasn't on the stage, you guys were ripping onto one song. That was a fucking hard rock song.
Yeah. We do hard rock. We cover the gamut from like R&B ballad to funk, like in your face, to like straight up like rock and roll, like blazing solos and harmonics and like heavy hitting shit, and it's all blended in, and we make it look sexy and cool because we got suits and hats on, and
You had the suits and hats. You guys got a little bit of style. What did you think about a band like Living Color?
I mean, I love those guys. Love each and every one of them. We do a lot of shows together. Believe it, because think about it now. You get a lot
I
of
think that's a
era.
great double bill.
You get a lot of era stuff. So it's from the 90s, 80s type of themed concerts where they'll have Living Color and Morris Day and the Time. So we do a lot of shows together. We have great times with Corey and all the fellas. Yeah, Vernon, all of men. They're family. We're all family.
That's cool.
And Sean, you and I went and saw Vernon Reid the last time, before this.
Yeah, this. I think I told you this to rub it in your face. The first night that I hung out with Andre, he was like, "Hey, do you want to go to the after party?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we can go to the after party." And we went to the Anchor Bar in Atlantic City, and it was a private event, and it was Mono Neon, who was Prince's bass player.
Mono Neon on bass.
And I don't know if you've ever seen him, Jeff. They drop it to black lights, and he has all the neon on, so he's glowing through the whole set. And he brought a special guest, was Vernon Reid. So we got to watch them two jam for like 2 hours.
And where's old Vernon Reid from?
Vernon, I think he's an East Coast boy.
He's with a Staten Island, my friend.
Is he really?
Okay, there it is. Okay, I didn't really.
Staten Island.
I'm not a fanboy. I'm his friend. I'm not a fan of his.
No, I worked with him on the Steel Wheels tour. I toured with the Stones on that tour for a while, and they were the opening act. And so before Corey would go on stage, he was in the movie Platoon, and so every night before going on stage, we'd be like, politics. That was his big line, if you remember the movie.
Yeah.
One more question before we have to let you go. What's something about Morris Day that people may not know but should?
He's white.
he's actually Jewish.
Yeah, right. It's like Sammy Davis Jr. He's a Jew. Yeah. Let's see. I mean, that's interesting. I guess people do ask sometimes. I don't know really what to say to that, but people ask, like, what is Morris really like? And I can't really say more than what I've spoken to. He's a very generous person. He's a very nice person. People have the perception that he's kind of he's pompous or he's arrogant. I think that's the one thing that I hear people say. That's the word that they like to use. But that's I won't say that he's not arrogant, but what people see is the character. And so the character is the personality just dialed up a bit, right? Mm-hmm. So him as a person, he loves cars. I know he loves automobiles. If you ever want to have a good conversation with him, start talking about some fucking octane and V8s and fucking cylinders and shit like that, and you got him. He's into it. He loves cars. I mean, he loves his family, and he loves music. And he always said he never wanted to have a boss, and so that's a good boss to have. So I the best boss to have is a boss who hates having a boss. It's just like that's the boss you want. Makes sense. Yeah. But no, he's and a lot of people don't know he's a phenomenal musician. Like Morris is a great drummer.
That I did not know.
He's actually okay. So when you listen to there are some Prince hits. I think one of them is I don't want to say. I think Head. I think when you're listening to Head, you're listening to Morris Day on drums, and I believe maybe Let's Work. Let's work. Yeah. Let's work. I think that's Morris on drums too. So Morris is he's not credited on a lot of that stuff, but Morris is responsible for a lot of grooves, and he's a phenomenal musician. So I think that may be one of the main things that people don't really know. They just think he stands in front of the stage and like sings. No, he's a musician.
It's pretty. I did not know. I'm gonna like try to impress Andre, but epically fail. My favorite part on the song "When Doves Cry" is the bass line. Do you like that bass line on that song, Andre? Trick question. There is no
bass line on now. That's funny. Now, but believe it or not, there actually was a bass line recorded.
That's right.
And it does exist, and you can hear it, but it's muted on the version that we get that's released, the official release. Now, when he's played it live, he's had bass in there. So I didn't know if you were referring to one of those bass lines or if you meant the actual
No,
record.
I was setting up something that would infuriate Sean. He'll never see this. But when that song came out, I absolutely lost my mind. I love that song, Sean. And I tried to dance like Prince, like sexy dancing by moving my legs in a circular motion.
Yeah, that's called dancing, asshole, when you move your legs in a circular motion.
No, but the way
you had to bring this back. You had to bring this back, right? It was 40 minutes. That was great. 40 minutes. That was great.
I'm trying to dance like Prince. The two songs I loved When Doves Cry. I never heard anything like it. I love that song. It absolutely blew my mind. And then I think my first introduction to him, I knew Controversy. It wasn't really like my style, but I absolutely loved Little Red Corvette. I thought that was a great song. Great song.
Yeah.
He was
building it up. Yeah, he was building it up through those years. I mean, he came out really super overproduced, and then he came out with the Dirty Mind and Controversy, and those albums were really raw, like literally basement records. And then he did another well-produced, like 1999. Really, that's where you got your Little Red Corvettes. Absolutely. And then, of course, then Purple Rain happened, and the rest is, as they say.
I think
Andre, we can't thank you enough for coming on, man. It's been way too long.
Raspberry Beret, in my opinion, is one of those songs that every genre of person loves that song.
What song is that?
Raspberry Beret.
Raspberry Beret. That's a great one.
It's okay.
No, come on. No. That's
even in my top 10.
Actually, that album was great, and it was really bold of him to do that because he came out
around the world in 80 days.
Around the world in a day. Around the world in a day. Yeah. And that came out after Purple Rain. So people were thinking he was going to come out with this other big, huge thing like Purple Rain. He went the whole different direction, like the Beatles-y kind of like hippie-ish music, psychedelic. And so that album is really a great album. It's a remove. But see, Prince was always moving forward. And that's what I loved about it. So that's the stuff, you guys, I used to spin that record. Like when we talk about these songs like this, it's the soundtrack of my life. Like I used to listen to that music and just absorb it, and the imagery, it's part of my DNA. Like, yeah, I ingested so much of it. I pee it out in the morning, man. It's in me.
So I don't know when Adam's going to release this. Hopefully he releases it fairly soon. So where could people come and see you? How could people follow you? How can we help you out on social media?
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, my band, I have an original band. I mean, the Morris Day and the Time, you can Google Morris Day and the Time, pretty much concert dates, whatever year, 2026. It doesn't always give all the dates, only the ones that are like by the big ticket promoted. But, if you follow me at Andre Holmes 81, you can find some things. We're at Morris Day and the Time on Instagram. But I have an original band, and it's called The Compadres. And you can find that at The Compadres.
How'd you come up with that name?
LA. Thank you. Yeah, The Compadres, THE, The Compadres, COMPADRES, LA. And if you follow us there, we're definitely going to have we got some great stuff cooking up. So original rock music. And so, yeah, that's one thing that I'm very excited about.
Hey, listen,
all I know is if I lived in LA, the Compadres would have a new guitarist and fucking lead singer. That's all I know.
Okay.
Would it be some grimace-looking baby Huey, fucking short-haired, Life of Agony wearing?
We can do a tour though. We can book a tour. We can book a smash-up tour, baby.
Listen, folks, follow Morris Day in the Time. Follow Andre Holmes. Andre, thank you so much for coming on, man. It's been too long. We appreciate you.
It's good to see you, JP. It's good to see you, Sean. You know I love you, and I pardon my tardiness. I apologize, guys. We're here at the Animal Humane Society. If you guys heard barking and everything, we're at the Humane Society, and we were looking at a little adopted dog. So we may, I don't know what's happening.
But listen, if you need any help with the animal, Sean will tell you. My wife is a veterinarian. She is an amazing vet. Any questions, anything you need, you hit me up.
Okay, copy that.
Okay, I will
see you next week.
Yeah, and speaking, when can I come see you? Can I come see you in Atlantic City?
Yeah, fuck yeah. I got tickets.
I want to come see you.
I'll give you his name next week.
That's cool. We got you.
Andre Holmes, thank you so much. Go back and do what you were doing. Thank you for coming on, and we'll be talking soon. Thanks, man.
God bless you guys. Thank you. Sean, call me and curse me out later. Love you, fellas.
He knows you, Sean.
He does.
He does. A tiger doesn't change its stripes. You get down deep down, there's still that curmudgeon-y, jaded, angry Sean Morton. Happy Sean is not going to last forever.
It will. It's the Sean that we love.
I'll do it on spite.
I will live forever.
Even that is still a little shady. But anyway, we'll catch you guys next week. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, guys. Cheers.